Ben Jacobson here with a Ben Jacobson photo camera and lens review really quick. I just wanted to show you two things very quick. The first is the new Olympus OM-D E-M5. I recently picked one up as my personal kind of take everywhere small camera. I've been a big fan of Evil cameras for a while, and I've had the X100, which I know isn't technically an Evil, a GF1, an X5, and now the OM-D, and I've really been thrilled with it. They've stepped up their game with the new sensor. The image quality is fantastic, and Micro Four Thirds has always had the best lens lineup of any of the small camera options available. So when they finally got this new sensor going, it's really made Micro Four Thirds, in my opinion, the best small system option available. So when the announcement was made, I was very excited, and I finally picked one up about a month ago. I've been loving it for my family shooting that I do. In the review, you'll see links to some old blog posts from back a couple years ago when I got my GF1. Same thing with my Nex 5. Same thing with the X100s. Because I did like all of those when I initially got them, but for individual reasons, I sort of fell out of love with each one of them and ended up selling them all except the Nex. But yeah, so far so good with the OM-D. I've had it a month, still thrilled with it. Its high ISO image quality is very good. It's really impressive, actually. It kind of hangs with a 5D Mark II almost. Definitely beats a 7D, and it's just great. So yeah, let me just walk you through it real quick. It's a solid camera, metal, weather sealed. It has a built-in EVF, which from the side adds a little depth and a lot of height. It's got a hot shoe. It has a port here for accessories, magnesium metal construction, 3 dials, one here for mode. These are configurable. The default is if you're an AV or A, this would be your aperture, and this would be your exposure compensation. Because I'm a Canon shooter, I flip-flop those two. It's got the flip-out screen that flips down for shooting over people's heads, or angles down, I guess, and now it flips down, angles up for shooting really low shots, which this I've loved for shooting my kids. You can get really down low on their level. As you can see, it's a small camera, so all these buttons are very small. The two that are really a bit frustrating for me, I have largish hands. Image replay, which you'll see an image pop up here from earlier, and function 1 should be flip-flopped in my opinion. Function 1 can be assigned to be autofocus, so that you can separate it from your shutter button, but I can't easily press that the way the camera sits in my hand. It's just, I can't angle it up with the size of the button. I can easily, however, hit replay, but you can't reassign that. So for me, I've left focus on the shutter and deal with it, and it is what it is. I can't switch it. I wish I could either switch it or they were flip-flopped. These two buttons are configurable. I have it set up for manual focus modes, which I haven't had to use at all, but it's just worth mentioning. You can configure them. One of the really nice things is when you're in live view mode, I'll put the lens cap off. In live view mode, if you hit OK, it brings up all the options on the side to go through, and then left and right changes those options. You can also have this view, not quite sure what it's called. I don't tend to read manuals. If I can't figure it out, it's not worth figuring out, generally. But this, if I bring it up again, you can touch anything here, and once you touch it and hit OK, you can then change them across the bottom. Personally, I don't like the way you have to hit OK. So I like this view better. It's really logical with up to down picking what item you're changing and left to right changing it. And while I landed on the ratio, here's one of my other complaints. I don't like 4:3. The sensor in this is 4:3. It's not my favorite size. I really like 3:2. So if we go to 3:2 and then we take a picture and then we hit replay, here's my complaint. It shows you the 4:3 image with the white box for the ratio you're using. Now, you cannot recover that information. Lightroom only has the 2:3 information in its raw file. So you're stuck. But in the replay, if you just miss something and it's outside that white box, you'll see it on the replay. So it's just annoying that they don't show you a true replay. It's just the JPEG carry file that has it that way. So that's one annoyance. One really nice thing is I'm going to delete this is you can set up the delete key to have a verification, or you can set it up to just delete, which I've obviously done. So I can just delete things off the camera very quickly, which I really enjoy. Another funny thing to show you while we're looking at this is the histogram's very blocky. It kind of reminds me of 8-bit Nintendo games. It doesn't really matter. You get the effect. You can see whether it's clipped or not. It just isn't as pretty as what I'm used to. It was kind of like a little shocking when I saw it like that. So then to show you how this focuses, right now you can see this button over here. That's where you cycle through. Right there, it turns the touchscreen off. Finger with a line through it. Press it again. Now I pick AF points, but I still have to focus with the shutter button. Let's see if we can get down low too. Yep. So you can see how fast it focuses, but I'm picking AF points. Press it again, and now it's touch to shoot. So we'll press down here on the table, focuses and shoots. Press on the chair, focuses and shoots. Trees, and you can see it just quickly, oh, I might have missed that one. It quickly rotates through. Now the one thing I don't like is put something that it won't focus on. This is too close. It's my hand. You press, it's going to hunt, and it's going to take a picture. So once you've pressed, it's going to go through those paces no matter how dark or how impossible it is to get a picture. And granted, you can just turn off that mode, so it's not a huge deal. Another thing I don't love is there's a button here on the side to switch between EVF and the back screen. It's just switched in and switched back. If you hold this down, really cool thing is it allows you to have a shortcut to whether it automatically switches. I've turned that off, and I'll show you why, because I just turned it on and we're in touch to focus mode. Let's say you want to touch to focus right up, yep, see, right anywhere up near the top, and the sensor right here picks it up and it switches. So, and even if you go to replay, and oh, look at that, you go to point at something, you go to look at something, and it switches off. So it's really just, there's so many things crammed in a small space. If you're gonna use the touch screen aspect of it, you kind of get away from being able to use the auto option, but you can very easily turn it off. Like I said, the construction's rock solid, very good impression. The thumb grip on the back, this little rubber guy, is phenomenal. The front really could use a little bit more, and I know they sell the additional grip. The thing I don't like about that, obviously it's $300, but it also adds height to it. I really like the way the Nex has the battery running front to back to give you really good finger grip. Hasn't been a problem. I haven't dropped the camera. The thumb grip's so good. But it's just worth mentioning that it could use something. Personally, I'm hoping Really Right Stuff, when they do their L bracket, will do the bracket with the battery door, because Olympus's doesn't have the battery door. You have to take it off to swap batteries. But if Really Right Stuff does what they did with the X100, it should be an L bracket and then have a nice little grip here as an option. Another thing is the SD card goes in the side with a spring-loaded door for just the SD card. The battery goes in the bottom, and this was the kind of weird part. The door's not sprung. It's not a huge deal, and it locks up, but it's just kind of this, you know, I expect from all my other cameras having a spring in the door that this would have too, which it doesn't. Not a huge deal. And speaking of the batteries, you can't get spares. So it hasn't been an issue with shooting day to day because the battery lasts all day, but it does mean you're charging batteries more often, and it's just kind of annoying. So that's the OM-D in a nutshell. It's been a very good camera for me. I'm very thrilled with it, honestly. I've been using the 20 a lot. You see the two other lenses here. I'm about to, as soon as I hit stop on this movie, I'm going to do a quick review of these two separately, so you only have to watch what you want to watch. But my kit consists of the 20, the 14, and then I have the 45 as well, which for me, those three, it's the best value 3 lenses, covers the most focal lengths, but I will say the 20 is what I use probably 90% of the time. Small size, fast aperture, good focal length. This is smaller, but it's a 2.5. The 45 is fast, it's a 1.8, but it's this size lens, so it makes the body a little bit bigger. So this is my happy medium, basically. But yeah, this is Ben Jacobson for Ben Jacobson Photo with my OM-D review. Hopefully this helps you see if it's the right camera for you. Thank you.